A nation shaken, the common thread of assassination. What do Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy have in common? These names are etched into the annals of American history, not just for their leadership, but for the tragic manner in which their lives were ended. They were all American presidents whose lives were tragically cut short by assassins. Each of these leaders, in their own time, represented the hopes and dreams of a nation striving for progress and unity. These men, each a symbol of American leadership and aspiration, were more than just political figures. They were beacons of hope, guiding the country through tumultuous times. Met their end not on the battlefield or in the natural course of life, but at the hands of assassins. Their deaths were not just personal tragedies, but national crises that shook the very foundation of American society. But at the hands of assassins. These violent acts were not just attacks on individuals, but on the very ideals they stood for. Their deaths sent shockwaves through the nation and left an indelible mark on American history. The collective grief was palpable, as citizens mourned not just the loss of their leaders, but the loss of a sense of security and stability. In the wake of these tragedies, the nation grappled with not only the loss of their leaders, but also the fragility of democracy itself. The assassinations served as stark reminders that even the most powerful office in the land is not immune to violence and chaos, but also the fragility of democracy itself. The very fabric of the nation seemed to unravel as people questioned the safety and resilience of their democratic institutions. The assassination of a president is a stark reminder of the vulnerability of power. It underscores the precarious nature of leadership and the constant threats that loom over those who hold positions of influence, and the ever-present potential for violence to disrupt the course of history. These events are not just historical footnotes. They are pivotal moments that have shaped the trajectory of the nation. It is a testament to the darkness that can lurk even in the brightest moments of a nation's journey. The assassinations reveal the duality of human nature, the capacity for both great good and profound evil. These events force us to confront the human capacity for hatred, resentment, and the desire to inflict pain on others. They compel us to examine the underlying causes of such violence and the societal conditions that allow it to fester, and the desire to inflict pain on others. The motivations behind these assassinations were complex, often rooted in political, social, and personal grievances that culminated in acts of extreme violence. The recent attempt on the life of former President Donald Trump serves as a chilling reminder that the threat of political violence is not a relic of the past. It is a sobering indication that the dangers faced by past presidents are still very much present today. That the threat of political violence is not a relic of the past. The modern era, with its advanced security measures and heightened awareness, is still not immune to the perils that plagued previous generations. It is a clear and present danger that continues to cast a shadow over American politics. The specter of assassination looms large, a constant reminder of the volatility and unpredictability of political life. The attack on Trump, like the assassinations of presidents before him, underscores the need for vigilance and the importance of protecting our leaders from those who would seek to do them harm. It highlights the ongoing struggle to balance security with the openness and accessibility that are hallmarks of a democratic society, and the importance of protecting our leaders from those who would seek to do them harm. The measures taken to safeguard our leaders are a testament to the lessons learned from past tragedies and the ongoing commitment to preventing future ones. This essay delves into the history of these fateful events, exploring the circumstances surrounding each assassination and its profound impact on the nation. It seeks to understand not just the events themselves, but the broader implications for American society and governance. Exploring the circumstances surrounding each assassination and its profound impact on the nation. By examining these dark chapters, we gain insight into the resilience of the American spirit and the enduring quest for justice and peace. It is a journey through some of the darkest chapters in American history, a reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of safeguarding the ideals upon which this nation was founded. These stories serve as cautionary tales, urging us to remain vigilant and committed to the principles of democracy and justice. A reminder of the fragility of peace and the importance of safeguarding the ideals upon which this nation was founded. In remembering these fallen leaders, we honor their legacy and reaffirm our dedication to building a more just and peaceful society. A house divided, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. This tragic event marked a pivotal moment in American history, forever altering the course of the nation. On April 14, 1865, as the American Civil War drew to a close, the nation was on the brink of a new era. The war had torn the country apart, but there was hope for a united future. President Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed by John Wilkes Booth, a well-known actor and fervent supporter of the Confederate cause. Booth's actions were driven by his belief that he was avenging the South. While attending a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., Lincoln was enjoying a rare moment of relaxation with his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, and their guests. Lincoln, the nation's 16th president, had led the country through its bloodiest conflict, demonstrating unwavering resolve and leadership. His vision for America was one of unity and equality, preserving the Union and ending slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation, which he signed in 1863, was a monumental step towards freedom for millions of enslaved people. His assassination, just days after the Confederate surrender at Appomattox, sent shockwaves through a nation still reeling from the wounds of war. The news spread rapidly, plunging the country into deep sorrow and uncertainty. Booth, a famous actor and Confederate sympathizer, approached Lincoln's box from behind and fired a single shot into the back of the president's head. His meticulous planning and execution of the assassination shocked the nation. Lincoln slumped forward, mortally wounded. The theater erupted in chaos as the gravity of the situation became apparent to the audience and those around him. Booth then leapt from the balcony, breaking his leg in the process, and escaped into the night. His dramatic escape added to the horror and disbelief of the evening. He was tracked down and killed by Union soldiers 12 days later. Booth's death marked the end of a manhunt that had gripped the nation, but it did little to ease the collective grief. Lincoln's death plunged the nation into mourning. The loss of such a pivotal leader at a crucial time left many feeling adrift and uncertain about the future. Millions lined the railroad tracks as his funeral train made its way from Washington to Springfield, Illinois, where he was laid to rest. The somber journey was a testament to the profound impact Lincoln had on the American people. His assassination left a void in American leadership at a critical juncture in the nation's history. The challenges of rebuilding a fractured nation and ensuring justice for the newly freed slaves loomed large. The task of reconstruction, of healing the wounds of war and integrating freed slaves into society, fell to Lincoln's unprepared successor, Andrew Johnson. Johnson's presidency would face immense challenges and controversies as the nation struggled to find its footing in the aftermath of Lincoln's death. A promise cut short: the assassination of James A. Garfield. The assassination of James A. Garfield, America's 20th president, stands as a stark reminder of the political divisions that plagued the nation in the aftermath of the Civil War. The country was still reeling from the deep scars left by the conflict, and the political landscape was fraught with tension and uncertainty. Garfield, a Civil War hero and former congressman from Ohio, assumed the presidency in 1881 with a vision to bring unity and progress to a divided nation. He promised to heal the wounds of sectionalism and reform the spoils system that had corrupted American politics. His commitment to these ideals earned him both admiration and animosity. However, his presidency was tragically cut short on July 2, 1881, just 4 months into his term, when he was shot by Charles J. Guiteau at a Washington, D.C. train station. The train station, bustling with activity, became the scene of a national tragedy. Guiteau, a disgruntled office seeker who believed he was owed a government job for his support of Garfield during the election, approached the president from behind and fired 2 shots at close range. The first bullet grazed Garfield's arm, but the second lodged itself in his back, causing severe internal damage. The immediate aftermath was chaotic, with onlookers in shock and Garfield's security details scrambling to respond. Garfield was quickly transported to the White House, where doctors began their efforts to save his life. Garfield clung to life for 80 agonizing days, his condition deteriorating as doctors struggled to treat his wounds with primitive medical techniques. The medical practices of the time were rudimentary, and the lack of sterilization led to severe infections. Despite the best efforts of his medical team, Garfield's health continued to decline. He succumbed to infection and internal bleeding on September 19, 1881, leaving the nation in mourning. Guiteau was found guilty of murder and hanged the following year. His trial was a spectacle, drawing widespread media attention and public interest. Guiteau's erratic behavior and lack of remorse only fueled the outrage against him. Garfield's assassination sent shockwaves through the nation, highlighting the dangers of political extremism and the need for greater security for public officials. The loss of a president so early in his term was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the volatility of the political climate. It also fueled calls for civil service reform, as many Americans blamed the spoils system for creating an environment in which individuals like Guiteau felt entitled to government positions. The tragedy of Garfield's death became a catalyst for change, leading to the eventual passage of the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act in 1883, which aimed to curb the corruption and patronage that had plagued the government. At the dawn of a new century, the assassination of William McKinley. William McKinley, America's 25th president, was known for his steady leadership and unwavering commitment to economic growth. He led the nation to victory in the Spanish-American War and oversaw a period of rapid industrial expansion. However, his presidency, like those of Lincoln and Garfield before him, would be tragically cut short by an assassin's bullet. On September 6, 1901, while attending the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, McKinley was shot twice at close range by Leon Czolgosz, an anarchist who believed that all forms of government were inherently oppressive. McKinley, though initially optimistic about his recovery, succumbed to gangrene caused by his wounds 8 days later. Czolgosz, a Polish immigrant who had become deeply disillusioned with American society, was quickly apprehended and later executed for his crime. His actions shocked the entire nation and sparked a wave of anti-anarchist sentiment. McKinley's death, coming at a time of great national optimism and progress, served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the ever-present potential for violence to disrupt even the most peaceful of times. Pause 3S. The shattering of innocence, the assassination of John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, embodied the hopes and dreams of a new generation. His vision for a new frontier aimed to address civil rights, space exploration, and global peace. However, his presidency, filled with promise and potential, would meet a tragic end on November 22, 1963. On that fateful day, Kennedy was riding in a motorcade through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas, when he was struck by 2 bullets. Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine with a troubled past and connections to communist sympathies, was quickly arrested for the crime. The assassination was captured on film, and the shocking footage would be seared into the collective memory of the nation. Kennedy's death sent shockwaves throughout the world, plunging the United States into a period of mourning and uncertainty. Oswald's subsequent murder by nightclub owner Jack Ruby only deepened the sense of confusion and conspiracy surrounding the events. The Warren Commission, established to investigate the assassination, concluded that Oswald acted alone. Yet questions and alternative theories persist to this day, fueling endless debates and speculation. Kennedy's assassination marked a turning point in American history, symbolizing the end of an era of innocence and the beginning of a more turbulent, questioning time. The legacy of John F. Kennedy endures, with his vision continuing to inspire future generations. His tragic death serves as a poignant reminder of the vulnerability of leadership and the enduring impact of a single moment on the course of history. The assassinations of American presidents have left indelible marks on the nation's history, shaping its course and challenging its resilience. As we reflect on these dark chapters, let us remember the importance of leadership, the fragility of democracy, and the need to uphold the values that define our nation. Let these moments in history inspire us to strive for a better future, honoring the legacies of those who have led with vision and courage.